Gavin Newsom just dropped the hammer on Donald Trump, and our weak, petulant little president is losing his mind publicly over it because Gavin Newsom just gave the greatest show of strength since Donald Trump's invasion and attack on peaceful protesters in LA with an interview on MSNBC in which he not only confronted Donald Trump to his face, speaking directly to him in the White House, calling out his lies, but he also detailed the lies of a call that just happened between Trump and Newsom that exposes the criminality of what Donald Trump is doing. We're going to get into it all because I promise it will make you hopeful. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does support the work we're doing here. Now, we are going to get into this interview and the many call-outs from Newsom that led to Trump's freak out. But before we do, I want to start with a little clip from on the ground in Los Angeles of the protests that are happening right now. If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what does. People are holding down their streets and their communities, showing Donald Trump that he cannot intimidate them. They are fighting back against this ICE invasion, and I love to see it because their governor is as well. Gavin Newsom, of course, called out Donald Trump, but I want to start with the other member of the administration he called out, Tom Homan, who's pretending to be tough, but Gavin Newsom shut that down.
Home, the border czar, said to me yesterday he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Let your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
This is the type of energy we have needed so desperately from Gavin Newsom in this moment. I am glad he is on air, not just because he is giving people hope, not just because, as we are about to see, he is calling out Donald Trump to his face and making him freak out on Truth Social, as he always does, because he's such just a little loser and a little whiny baby. But this is what we need. This is leadership, and it is demonstrating that if you have a spine and you stand up to Donald Trump, ultimately, Taco Trump will always cave. We know that to be the truth. And I want to look at the call out that Gavin Newsom delivered, looking directly at Trump, who I know was watching based on what he posted on Truth Social. But let's take a look at what the governor had to say.
I have a feeling there's a pretty good chance that in the White House there might be a television on and he might be watching us
I hope so.
right now.
Yeah, he can learn something.
What might you say to him if I'll give you the floor, you have the opportunity, what you weren't able to say to him on that phone call or calls that he hasn't taken today?
I mean, where's your decency, Mr. President? Stop. Rescind this order. It's illegal and unconstitutional. And I said it, I'll say it again, it's immoral. You're creating the conditions that you claim you're solving, and you're not. And you're putting real people's lives at risk. This is a serious moment, and it requires serious leadership. And it's time for you to be a commander-in-chief of the United States of America. And I will have your back if you want to work in a relationship of trust and truth in the spirit of our founding fathers. But you come after poor kids, you come after families, we will do everything in our power to stand up and stand in your way.
Absolutely, Donald Trump was watching in the White House, and that is why I am so glad that Gavin Newsom just took a moment, broke from the interview, talked directly to Donald Trump and said, I know what you're doing. I know that this is intimidation. I know that this is a distraction. You're not going to come into my state. You're not going to come into our city. You're not going to try to take our streets. We are fighting back. We will be out there every single day, making sure that ICE cannot snatch people up from their communities, from their children's graduations, whether it be elementary school, middle school, high school, it doesn't matter. You're not coming into our state with your intimidation. We are stopping the fascists. We're calling out their crimes as well, which is exactly what Gavin Newsom did, breaking down his phone call with Trump, detailing all of his lies. We're going to check that out, and then Trump's Truth Social meltdown.
Continues to, as always, hit you hard publicly. Just 10 minutes ago, he put out another Truth Social telling you and the mayor to apologize to the people of Los Angeles. You guys go at it pretty hard publicly, but I know you talk privately. Have you spoken in the last couple of days to the president about any of this?
Yeah, we talked for almost 20 minutes, and this issue never came up. I mean, I kept trying to talk about L.A. He wanted to talk about all these other issues. We had a very decent conversation.
When was this?
This was late Friday night, I think about 1:30 plus his time.
After the protests had started here?
After the protests, and he never once brought up the National Guard. He's a stone-cold liar. He said he did. Stone-cold liar. Never did. It was a very civil conversation. I've always wanted to approach engagement with the President of the United States in a respectful and responsible way. But there's no working with the President. There's only working for him. And I will never work for Donald Trump.
Did you mention it all to him in that phone call on Friday?
Gavin made it incredibly clear. Donald Trump did not talk to the governor about his criminal invasion with the National Guard, with ICE coming down, attacking peaceful protesters. He brought none of this up. It was not something he was worried about. He is only trying to make just this big spectacle that's just bile flowing out of his head and his mind because he needs to distract, and that is why he's freaking out on Truth Social. During this interview, he posted this right here. Trump wrote, Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass should apologize to the people of Los Angeles for the absolutely horrible job that they have done, and this now includes the ongoing LA riots. These are not protesters, they are troublemakers and insurrectionists. Remember, no masks. I talked about this in a live stream that I did with Keith Edwards, who's got a great YouTube channel, and you might have seen it. But the mask thing is really, really freaking me out. Republicans, conservatives at large, and all these conspiracy theorists are constantly talking about the George Soros deep state, how they're coming for all your info. They want to scan your face. Bill Gates is putting a chip in your arm. But when Donald Trump says everyone has to take off their mask and identify themselves in a peaceful protest in which they're not trying to hide their identity, but protect their mouth, their nose, their face, their eyes from tear gas, yeah, that's Donald Trump making a police state. By the way, MAGA, if you actually cared, which you don't, stop taking these people seriously. They have no grounding principles. They don't believe what they say. And Donald Trump using this insurrection term is just such a joke. Gavin Newsom called it out in this interview, especially as he was calling out the illegal action of Trump.
So this is, as I said, the Emergency Operations Center. I wonder how you would characterize the events that are unfolding in Los Angeles right now. Is it an emergency? Is it, Fox News is calling it the LA riots? Is it a peaceful protest? What's happening? What are you seeing? Well,
I mean, look, Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act, and we're going to test that theory with a lawsuit tomorrow.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Sorry to interrupt you, but Governor, so that's news. If you're going to sue the administration, tell me a little bit about it. Give us a preview of this lawsuit.
Well, under his executive order, it specifically notes, and under what the DOD did, is they had to coordinate with the governor of the state. They never coordinate with the governor of the state. I've worked with the National Guard. We've deployed the National Guard. We did 3,000+ folks have been doing logistics work and fire recovery work, and they're fighting the fires, the rattlesnake teams. We did the same back in George Floyd. We have no problem working collaboratively in a mutual aid system with local law enforcement, but there's a protocol, there's a process. He didn't care about that. And the worst part, he completely...
This is a blatantly illegal action that Donald Trump is taking. It is not only unprecedented, it is unconstitutional, it is authoritarian. Gavin Newsom absolutely hammered that point home that we need to continue to reiterate, because it's also important to point out that if you're worried about actual unrest happening in Los Angeles, you don't want Donald Trump to be causing it, because that is how this started. It's when you start shooting tear gas and rubber bullets. I saw a video of an Australian reporter standing on the street with her back turned to police officers, to ICE agents, who then 15, 20 feet away, aimed their gun and shot rubber bullets at her legs, doing nothing. Disgusting. They are sparking this. It is all Donald Trump doing so, and there's a reason. It's distraction. Gavin Newsom called that out.
We talked about this is in some measure about immigration, in some measure it's about democracy. Do you believe, some people have said, that this is an attempt at distraction from maybe the matters with Elon Musk back in Washington? You know, why did this happen now, in other words?
Oh, I mean, he's a master of distraction. He's the commander of chaos. That's what Donald Trump does. Moves this direction, move that direction. I mean, look, this guy has 90 days, 90 beautiful deals. How many deals? Zero. In the UK, give me a break. I mean, Elon Musk is the sycophant of sycophants as it relates to this love relationship that he had with the President of the United States said it exactly right. We're likely in a recession the second half of the year because of the recklessness of this tariff policy under this administration. He's just saddled our kids and grandkids with $2.5 trillion of debt to give billionaires and corporations a tax break that they're not even asking for. Of course he's trying to distract us.
I love that Gavin knows that Trump's watching and he's just trying to prod him. He's just trying to upset him, as he should. Good. Point it out, call him out, hit hard. The only way to respond to Trump is not to bend and to cave, but is to bully him back because he is weak, he is scared, he presents himself as an authoritarian, but he's too much of a baby to actually pull it off. He's weak. That's why Gavin's hitting back, and we saw more of it right here.
All of this is about immigration enforcement and the type of well, go ahead, feel free to
No,
speak.
I mean, I know, and I don't mean even to cut you off. I think it's about something much more. This is about authoritarian tendencies. This is about command and control. This is about power. This is about ego. My way or the highway. This is a consistent pattern of practice, of recklessness. This guy has abandoned the core principles of this great democracy. He's threatening to go after judges he disagrees with, cut off funding to institutions of higher learning. He's on a cultural binge. He's rewriting history, censoring historical facts. I mean, this is something completely different. And this is part of that ongoing play that is unfolding in front of our eyes. It is a serious moment under the guise of immigration, but it's much deeper than that.
I commend the governor. I love what he did with this interview. I would really like to see him tomorrow out on the streets with these peaceful protesters, using his bully pulpit, bringing in the media, using his platform and saying, look, these are people in their community peacefully protesting against those who are trying to destroy it. That is what is happening right now. We are in a fight for freedom. I'm going to stand up to Donald Trump, who is attacking our freedoms to live joyfully, peacefully in our communities that we have built. That's what he's trying to undermine. We don't want that. Of course we don't. So let's fight back. Good on Gavin. I want to see more, though. Keep fighting, Gov, because we're going to cover it on this show. And if you want to support that and stay up to date, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.